Make sure we have all the things. Yep. Of course, I'm a little early. And we have Chico, who's going to be camera shy. I had another melancholy Monday. It was like I had two in a row. Actually, I was kind of melancholy all weekend. I don't know what goes on with Mondays. Too many days off in a row, maybe, to think. I don't know. Oh, hi, Sean. Your live stream was really fun. How did you like it? Sean, it seemed like you were very stressed in live stream, but it's a good time and you kind of get used to it. I do have a bit of anxiety every time before I start, but Christopher, I don't know. I don't know. He told me he would be on, but then obviously his chair is empty next to me, so we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if he pops out here in a little while. He's probably watching because he usually does. We'll see. I would like him to, but I don't know. He gets nervous about that. We'll see. I told him he could be on here for interrogation. You guys could all ask him questions. And maybe he'd like that, maybe he wouldn't. And Sean, your live stream went on forever. That's so great. I am doing great. How are you, Mom? I'm good. I'm good. I had a melancholy morning, but yeah, Christopher, he feels good actually. I think it's very strange with what's going on with his kidney and stuff that he really doesn't feel yucky or have any pain or anything. His story might be different tomorrow after his procedure, but he seems to be feeling pretty normal as far as what he tells me. If he was out here, he could tell you, but he's not. But that's okay. Just because I like doing this doesn't mean everybody does, you know? I was worried it was going to rain. We were supposed to have rain all day. Christopher, I think just no pain. It's really strange because the last time that he had a kidney stone, he had pain until he had the lithotripsy to break it up. So we thought since his pain stopped that it had passed, but and maybe because it's lodged in there and not moving and that's why it doesn't hurt. I don't know, but you would think if your kidney wasn't able to pass urine that you would have pain. But I don't know a lot about that. And I haven't gone through it either, so he is pretty tough though. So maybe stiff upper lip, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think he's pretty nervous about tomorrow. I just don't like that I have to sit in the parking lot and wait for him rather than go in. I understand when he's in his procedure I can't be in there, but I'd like to be, when he comes out of recovery, I'd like to be in there, but I just have to sit in the parking lot for 3 hours or 4, and I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. Sitting still for a long time is not really for me. And the town I'm going to doesn't really have a lot that I could go and do anyway. It's like a tourist type town. So there's a lot of tourist shops, but that's not really my thing either, you know? We got blackberries in the kombucha today. I still feel pretty unsettled. I don't know when that gets better. And today, for once, I'm kind of out of words for you guys. You'll have to ask me questions or start talking maybe so that I know what to talk about because I'm kind of out of words. I'm watching my ducklings. Oh, check the raspberries, Kieran. We have raspberries here, but for some reason I don't like to pick raspberries. Like they smush in my fingers too much or something. But I pick the blackberries. It was an emotional week, yes. Lots of feelings. And I'm also, my daughter graduated high school, so is Ragnar for sale? He can be for sale because, Sean, he's going in my freezer. Start probably in like September, October, he'll go in my freezer, so you can have him for free, actually. He's free. And he's a really good rooster, and you know he is real good looking. Yeah, Liza. So I'm planning my daughter's graduation party. And, you know, she loves the people. She loves the people and she loves a party. But as you can imagine, I do not love a party. Hi, Mona. He's fine. My husband is fine. We'll see how he is tomorrow. I will probably put out on my community tab, I will put out an update once he comes out and I have him back in my car on the way home. So just so that you guys know. But he's doing fine. He doesn't feel any different than he did, you know, last week. We just know now what's going on, so it's a little bit different. But yeah, I'm pretty overwhelmed with the idea of having a graduation party and having lots and lots of people that, and when you are hosting a party, you can't just, you know, show up and leave like I normally would want to. You have to stay there till the end, and hopefully I'll be able to like busy myself with work or I don't know. So that's kind of weighing on me too. So it's a lot probably. That's probably what's happening to me. I don't know what the lighting's doing behind me now because the sun of course is coming down. But Sean, yeah, if you want Ragnar, you're going to have to get him shipped to you because you're too far away. Oh, Mona, I feel like I'm overreacting to something. It is a simple procedure. It is a simple procedure that they're doing tomorrow. It's not even full general anesthesia. They're going to just give them like twilight anesthesia. I don't know. I just felt really sad about it. And, you know, I talked about it this morning and I just feel like it's just one more thing that's going to happen to him. And I don't know, when you love somebody that much, and, you know, I've been with him for 20 years, seeing their mortality and knowing that they could be gone from you, and then even thinking about, like, what would your life look like without them, it just feels really heavy. Just heavy. So I didn't sleep well last night. We'll see about tonight. Oh no, Derek. Shut down the school. Is the virus really spreading in Arizona again? I have not been watching the numbers at all for about a month because I decided I was going to just let it go. Christopher, they will try the ultrasound. That's what they're going to do probably next week. I think they're going to try. It depends on where the stone is. They said if it moves down behind his hip bone, then that won't work, because obviously they can't go through the bone and then break up the stone. So then they have to do a laser procedure where they go up and blast it with a laser or cut it apart or something. But oh, the spreading has been really bad. And Derek, are there a lot of older people in Arizona, or is that something that I just hear? And we haven't heard about our schools yet. They gave us a bunch of options that might happen, but no final word yet. And I really hope that they have school again, because as I told you guys before, my boys did not do well with home online schooling. Yeah, Mona, what the cardiologist said. And, it might also, the cardiologist that he was seeing at that time, English was not his first language. So the way that he spoke was very direct and very literal, which I appreciate, because, there's no skirting around things. But, that is what he said. And I, of course, took that to heart. But I don't know if my husband did. And that's the part that bothers me the most is, it's like, if you can't do this for yourself, if you can't take care of yourself for yourself, can you please do it for us? Because we need you here. Up, yes, Christopher, up the urethra. And they'll try that laser. If the lithotripsy or the ultrasound is not an option, they'll try the laser. And if that doesn't work, then they have to do a cut, like through the back. So that's where it's going to get pretty yucky, And the procedure where they break up the stone is under general anesthesia, so he won't feel any of that. But tomorrow, it's just like sleepy time medicine where you forget everything and you're real happy to be there. So I'm sure he'll just be cracking jokes the whole time. Yeah, Liza, I know. The poor thing. So he had a swab stuck up to his brain yesterday, and then he's going to have a tube put up his, tomorrow. And it's a pretty long tube, because the last time he had to have one of those, I saw them pull it out, and it's unbelievably long. I couldn't believe it. I figured it would be about this long, because I thought, like, how far is it from your kidney to your bladder, But yeah, Christopher, I'll take care of him. I'll do my best. I do have to go to work on Wednesday, so he'll be okay. I'll stop and get him something to eat on the way home. Oh, his name is Chris, Rachel. Hi, Rachel. Yeah, I don't know if that's a thing with men, that they don't take things as serious, or if they, I don't know. It is definitely something where he feels immortal. Thank you for your prayers, Rachel. I appreciate you, all of you guys. And I still feel like I'm overreacting, but it might just be like a accumulation of all the things in the past few years that he's gone through. And then I really don't, I don't know. I guess something like that would have scared me enough that I would have done whatever they told me to do and not make excuses. But it's hard to change your life. It's really hard to change your lifestyle if you've lived that way all the time. And I know he explained it to me one time, because, like, for me, if I eat something I'm not supposed to, I'm going to have a lot of pain and then some bathroom situations. So it's almost like an immediate punishment if I eat something bad. Yeah, no probing, Sean. Well, Chris is going to have an awful lot of that the next couple weeks here. I do think it's a personality difference. And actually, Chris and I talked about that, because, with the ESFP that he is, they just want, everything good all the time, and they just live in the moment and not really think about too much about what would happen in the future, or I don't know. It sounds really irresponsible, but that's the best way I can explain it. You know, he could explain it better, but they just want to live life to the fullest, you know? Do all the fun stuff, eat all the good food, not do things that are painful or uncomfortable. Thank you, Mona. Oh, Rachel, you say, yeah, we do. You just want to live your best life. Yeah, I want to live in the present, Liza. I do have admiration for that. I love how happy they are, and they really truly are happy. I mean, well, they can have sad times and things that go wrong and stuff, but they really truly are happy people. They don't have this like underlying sadness or something that I always seem to have and can't shake. You know, that like melancholy, and they can really, if they're not I just lost what I was going to say. They can identify what's wrong. That's the other thing. They can you're living in 2064. You INTPs pull us down deep. Sometimes it hurts deep. Yeah, my son is an INTP, and I need to talk with him more if he wants to, because he really has got some deep stuff that he thinks about. I would put those raspberries in my freezer, Kieran, because I like to put them in my kombucha when they're frozen. My youngest brother, I think raspberries are his favorite, and that's actually his name is Ross, but when he was younger, my mom always called him Raspberry, probably because that's what he wanted to eat all the time. And we used to go pick berries as a family event. You like my dime tours, Christopher? I didn't do one this week, and I need to. I thought about it yesterday, but I was too. I don't know. I was too sad or too in my head maybe. But I like the dime tours too. And then I always think like I need to be better at like cinematic shots or something, and then they would be better. Thank you, Rachel. Whoops. We will see you later, Rachel. Yeah, the melancholy. I used to label myself as a melancholy person, and then I decided that I was cursing myself by saying that, so I stopped saying it. But it does happen that you just kind of have this like low mood or something, and it's not depression necessarily. Every time you hear the name Mike, oh, because the chicken that walked past. Thank you, Mr. Goodwrench. I hope so too. Yeah, I hope he recovers quickly, because, you know, the 4th of July is one of his favorite times of year. You know, he likes to buy those fancy explosives, you know, fireworks, and he likes to, you know, blow hundreds of dollars worth of explosives up in the air. And if he's not going to be feeling well this week, that's not going to be very much fun for him, and then he'll be sad. So I don't love the fireworks, but I do. But he does, and then he acts like a little kid, so I support it and I watch it. Although last year, I don't drink alcohol very often, but last year was the first year that I watched his fireworks that I did not have a drink, because I had to go to work the next day, and I realized I don't like them as much if I'm completely sober. So we'll see. We'll see when they do them, if I have to go to work the next day or not. Hi, Darklight. Nice to see you. Yeah, Liza, that melancholy thing. Oh, Kieran, with the beehive, my friends have a beehive, and they're not aggressive. They're just little tiny fluffy things, honeybees. So I don't think that the neighbors, unless they're going to come over and kick over your hive, I don't think they would be too bothered by them. And they would help with pollinating everything. Christopher, the 4th of July in, oh, there's a, like a little caterpillar. The 4th of July here is pretty much canceled. There's no, we usually have a parade in town. There's no parade. There's no fireworks. They canceled the fireworks even. And yeah, it is going to be really strange. Everybody will just be home, which is okay with me because I don't love the parade, and the fireworks are usually too late at night and I'm tired. So melancholy to me is a mixture of emotional and spiritual introspection. Yeah, it's usually a lot of introspection for me, Mona, when I get in that kind of mood. It's a lot of thinking and a lot of, I want to say sadness, but it's not necessarily sadness. It's kind of hard to explain. But it's definitely it's not like any other time, you know? So Sean, I don't know if you're still here, but I noticed a couple people that watched your live stream and were commenting are people that are on my channel too, so I thought that was pretty interesting. And I can't say that I enjoyed you getting flustered and overwhelmed, but it was really interesting. You know, human behavior is fascinating. So watching someone else live stream was just that was fun for me. And then I would like leave and come back, and so Christopher, are the things canceled then in Bristol, or are they still having them? You're looking for my dogs. Yeah, Liza, I did too. It was great. I was smiling the whole time. It was just great. I think he left us now, but I thought it was fantastic. He had so much anxiety, and I was like, oh, it's not so bad. And then he's panicking over the number of people on him. Like, and I wanted to say, don't look at the number. It doesn't matter. If you're having comments, people are watching. But the more that people came on, the more panicked he got, and the more that I smiled. And it was good. And I think I stuck in there for like an hour and a half. Oh, Christopher, you don't know if they canceled the things. They canceled our stuff a long time ago, even though you panicked over one person. Yeah. It is a shuffle. Shuffle is the right word, because, you know, you can't really get out a complete thought all the way all the time, because, you know, another comment comes in and you don't want to miss it or whatever. But then, you know, you can just scroll back. And he had asked me for some tips before he started, and I tried to be helpful, but then I couldn't remember. I'm like, make sure you have something to drink, because with that much talking, because I don't know if we're used to talking that much, probably not. That much talking, your throat gets really dry in your mouth, and then you need chapstick because your lips get dry. That's all I could tell him. And I just told him, you know, you read the comments and you respond, and you're going to bounce all over the place. You're going to shuffle, like you said, Liza. Okay, now I gotta scroll back here. Oh, you love fireworks, Rachel. I think they're really pretty. I just wish they didn't have to do them at night, because I like to go to bed about 9:30 or 10, and if I'm up past 10, I'm really wondering what I'm doing with my life, because I wake up really early in the morning. So I'm just tired. And then of course we have a lot of people come over, and then I worry that they're not going to go home when it's all done, you know, that kind of stuff. I don't want to entertain people until 2 in the morning, you know. Oh, and Dark, like, that's your next challenge, a live stream. It is, I really like it, obviously, because I'm here every week, unless I can't be. And it is it is a challenge. It is a challenge. And I think it is good for us because it takes us out of our like comfortable. It's easy to well, not at the beginning, but it's easy to record a video and talk to yourself on a camera, because if it's crap, you just delete it and you don't post it. But if it's, and if it's good, or you feel like it looked nice and sounded nice, then you keep going. But when you're live, whatever you say just comes out of your mouth, and then people, can judge you. That's how it feels. Just a minute. What?
Where are my pastries?
What?
Where are my pastries?
Were they on the counter?
No.
Oh, I don't know then. Look in the fridge.
They're not there either.
Okay,
The box is in the trash.
What?
The box is in the trash.
Oh, then I threw them out.
Why?
Because they were on the counter, and I thought those weren't the ones that you wanted. Oh, my son is talking to me.
That I did want.
I'm sorry, buddy. I accidentally threw away his dessert. Oopsie. Oh, Kieran, I would love that. The thunder is shaking my whole house. I would love that. We had some pretty heavy rain and thunderstorms this morning. Yeah, Liza, it is challenging to press past stuff we perceive are limitations. Yeah, because I certainly, if you would have told me 2 years ago that I would be doing this live streaming thing, or that I would continue to make videos after a year, I would have told you were crazy, because usually I really want to do something and then I start doing it and then I get bored with it or find out that it wasn't for me or whatever. And then I just let it go, and then I feel bad about it for a long time. And Darklight, you're right. If you watch, people's beginning videos and then you watch like their progression, I like to do that too. When I first started watching YouTube and I found creators I really liked, I did that too. I would like watch a lot of their videos, and you would go back to the beginning and see like how they started and everything. Argue for your limitations, and sure enough, they're yours. That's true. Hi, Michael. It is, yeah, I understand. I definitely understand. There's not a lot of it. It's hard to explain how it even works for me. It doesn't seem like something that we would do, but I'm sorry that you feel anxious, though. It does give me some anxiety as well. The chat is difficult, yes, because you can't, it seems like we don't stay on a topic for very long, and then there's a lot going on, someone talking, and then you watch a comment scroll up the side, and you can turn the comments off and just watch it. I've done that sometimes. My husband's walking this way with a very annoyed look on his face, so are you going to sit down?
Yes.
I just threw away Eli's desserts.
Yeah, so I gave him mine.
Okay.
I said, remember, you have the best dad in the world. You can have my cheesecake. Oh, hello. My wife decided she needed some eye candy to bring in subscribers, so here I am.
Thank you, Mr. Goodrich.
I suppose I should put my glasses.
Oh, Liza's glad you're joining. Me too. I'm excited. Oh, hi, Chris. We love Joy. He's got to put his glasses on.
I'm old and I can't read any of this small print.
Oh, and then they go away.
Oh.
Yeah, Michael, the live chat, unfortunately, there's not a lot of, it's not really able to go like too deep, and I think it's more, I don't know. Yeah. Like Mr. Goodwrench is saying, like inviting and friendly. I don't really know how to explain it. It isn't for everyone though. There are definitely some live streams I've tried to watch that I couldn't either, but I understand. They want to know how you're feeling too. They asked me that at the beginning.
Good. Nervous.
Were you nervous?
Yeah, a little bit.
They asked if you had no pain or a stiff upper lip.
No pain.
No pain.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
My mouth filter does not work. Going live may be the end of my channel.
I get it. I'm probably going to be very quiet here.
You don't have to be quiet.
Did you put out a warning?
Yeah, I'll put out a warning now. Dark light and it might make you feel more comfortable. His mouth filter doesn't work either. So we might have some foul language, but that's okay. That's just how it is. You look really energetic.
I'm outside. Humidity is about 95.
It feels great.
Feels horrible. I walked out the door, the air conditioning went, ugh!
I love it.
What is this?
Liza says, let it rip.
I was like, oh my goodness, she wants me to sit out in this stuff?
Yeah, Liza also said that men aren't used to being probed
No.
like women are.
No, we are not. Still not quite 50 yet, so I haven't had to get that.
Colonoscopy.
The start of the professional probing. Shut off.
Yeah, they kind of just kind of go away. The comments, they just disappear. Oh, my man turned just Oh, Walter, you're hilarious. Yep, this is my oldest child.
That is actually correct, but not birthed, but
Yeah, he's the oldest human I have to take care of. Yeah. Is that your oldest son? This is my husband, Walter. AC is mandatory in my house. I wish it wasn't mandatory in my house because I don't particularly like it, but it is, it's mandatory for everybody else. So, oh, let's see. It's a lack of pain. I don't know what that means. I hope you're okay. Because you don't have pain even though you got a stone that's stuck.
right.
Whoops.
What is that bug?
I don't know.
It's a ladybug.
That's a really weird bug. Be praying for you tomorrow. You're not so quiet squeaking in that chair, fellow ESTP. Probably more of an ESFP. That was funny, Walter.
Is that what I am?
ESFP.
Okay. ESPN, whatever.
ESPN, that's what he tells us. That's what he says. It's just a very expensive dehumidifier. No, Karen, it makes the house freezing.
My toes are warming up finally.
It makes the house freezing. I'm freezing most of the time. And, if it's 85 degrees outside, I should not have to wear long pants and a sweatshirt inside my own house. So then I have to come outside to get thawed out and then go back in to cool off a little bit. So I like it when I'm working outside and I can go back in. Do you ever deal with recurring memories causing mental distress as an INFJ? Recurring memories. Yes, if I had something, I have like things that just keep coming back and back and back, if that's what you mean. Yeah, that little inchworm fell out of the tree. It's usually events that were bad or that I worry about like what I said, what I did. And then it just like...
But you do have this nifty trick of blocking those out.
Sometimes. Yeah, if I don't dissociate them, because I'll either dissociate or just remember things forever. And I mostly did dissociation when I was younger, not as much now. Probably because my life isn't as traumatic now. Considering how this year is going down, you think Yellowstone is going to join the party? You mean like a volcano? I don't think so. I don't know.
It's supposed to be a bad one if it happens.
It is supposed to be a bad one. Look up baby elephant held in captivity. We don't break free because of old memories. Like private cringe moments, those memories that sneak up on you and pop up. What you could have done different. Yeah, things sometimes.
It's awfully fast.
Yeah, it does shut off too fast, and I don't know how to control that. I will look up baby elephant in captivity. Even though the thought of that makes me sad. I don't like animals in captivity. In zoos and stuff, it just makes me sad. I hated going to zoos always, even when I was little. Although I have 2 goats in captivity here, but if I let them out of the fence, they'll eat all my flowers, but they're not going to go anywhere. And I let my chickens go every day, but they always come back.
Did you show them your ducks?
I didn't show them the baby ducks today. I haven't done a dime tour this week. It's almost like you're remembering memories like that, like you're talking about. It's almost like they harass you, you know, and then you try to like go through your mind about what you would have done differently, or how you could have handled it better or avoided it. Rat Utopia is some interesting stuff. Now, I've never heard of that. You guys always bring up stuff I've never heard of. Air Force Sally Boy here.
Oh, he's back.
Sean's back.
Hey, don't worry, Sean. I'm telling all my boys they're going to go in the service to go in the Air Force. Your caviar hot dog thing did it for me. I was like, he's right.
I don't know. I'm kind of partial to Marines.
Well, I get it. I mean, but you don't have to worry about that with our boys. They'll find some millennial or Gen Z person that'll like them just as well from the Air Force.
Yeah. Yeah, Mona, my goats are not very wild at all. They're kind of like dogs. They want to be petted. They come up to you. Oh, his grandfather was 101st Airborne Screaming Eagles.
Airborne.
Whatever. His father was an Air Force pilot.
It's impressive.
Oh,
Pilots are impressive.
pilots are impressive. That's how the granddad said it to me, but yeah, I'll take the bulk of the jokes for the caviar/wine.
See, I worked on airplanes, so I got to meet a lot of pilots. When you're in the training squadrons working on training planes, those pilots are a little bit more full of themselves than the ones I met out in the actual fleet.
Oh,
You know, they're fresh out of military, out of college, out of officer school. But out in the real air wing, they were a lot nicer. Less arrogant, maybe, is what I'm looking for.
what are we cooking for the 4th of July?
Brats.
Brats. We live in Wisconsin. What else would you have? What else is there?
What other meat group is there?
Yeah, we'll have brats, and then I'll probably make burgers, you know, traditional, and then he's probably going to want some tuna salad, you know,
See, that's why you leave your air conditioner on.
and then I'll make that like broccoli cauliflower salad. I don't know if anybody
Oh,
has
that's
that,
good
but it's
too.
like broccoli, cauliflower, mayo, bacon, onion.
Thank you for your service. 21 years, it's a long time.
21 years is a long time. I knew that about Mr. Goodwrench. I forgot
Say
to mention.
brats again.
See, no! He's from Darklight's from Oregon. I'm not saying it again.
Brats.
Somebody else had like typed out something for me to say one time. Oh, water ATT. Thank you. I think everything will be okay too. I just get, yeah, just thinking too much, you know. And yeah. Coast Guard in the 80s, didn't get my feet wet. I'm trained FAA, AP, mechanic, love aircraft. Brats are, oh, I said again, Darklight. They're the best. I had it for breakfast today. They're not
Oh.
for breakfast.
They are if you put them in an omelet.
Oh, I guess.
Sliced brats in an omelet are delicious.
What I want to have is ribs. But you don't like ribs.
No.
Oh, I think they're delicious. Oh, I'm sorry with leaving you with a big lump in my throat. I'm really thankful actually to be able to post. Oh, you're touching too many buttons here, sir. Isn't Oshkosh in Wisconsin? Yes. Oshkosh is, I don't know, 4 hours south of us?
Probably closer to 2.5.
Or 2.5? Okay.
Yeah, Milwaukee's 4.
Your mom is from Wisconsin. I should have guessed brats. Yeah. Baby back ribs. Well, I don't know exactly what a baby back rib is. You know, we get our pork like a whole pig at a time, so it's just like a slab of ribs. It just says ribs on the package.
We're doing chair force jokes.
Chair force.
I only did 4.
That's kind of funny. And barbecue chicken is really good. We have that last night.
Yep. Yeah, you're gonna have to ask your son to fix this comment thing.
I don't know how to fix it. So who out there knows how to make the comments not disappear? We're making you hungry. We had shredded pork tacos for dinner, Darklight. That was really yummy. Oh, spare ribs. I don't know. I don't know what kind they are. Huge air show. He's gonna blow up explosives in the air.
You're talking about fireworks?
Yeah, I talked about, because they asked what we're gonna do for the 4th.
Oh, it won't be the 4th. It'll be the 2nd. But
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you have the shredded pork tacos, and you know, you put a pork roast in the crock pot and then let it go all day with your seasoning. And I had 1 ripe tomato in my garden, so I cut that up. He doesn't eat tomatoes, but I put that on mine, and some cilantro and all the other good stuff.
I eat cooked tomatoes.
You eat cooked tomatoes, yeah, not raw tomatoes.
If they're in something, it doesn't bother me.
An avocado, which he doesn't like. Very good, though. Very good.
There's very few things that she's changed my mind about. One was asparagus. I'll eat that now. Brussels sprouts still a no-go. They just taste like boiled cabbage to me.
They're a little more bitter than cabbage.
That bitter cabbage, that sounds even better, don't it? Cabbage is bad, bitter cabbage is better. Not really.
Oh, chili, lime, sour cream. Yeah, I squeezed the lime juice on a taco. Oshkosh
During the air show.
Oh, during the air show.
Yeah, they have a big avionics air show, Blue Angels, stuff like that down there flying around.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Cool. I didn't even know that was in big airport, Oshkosh. I've never flown out of that
You
one.
just said busiest.
Oh, busiest.
Yeah, not the biggest.
Because when I go out west to visit my brother, I usually fly out of... what in the world? The chair force jokes are funny. I started hearing them after I retired. I don't know what those dogs are barking at, but they ran away.
Make sure there's no way down on the road or anything.
Oh, Darklight, I just ordered a book on wild edibles because in case Just in case.
Who knows what's going to be in my food now?
Yeah, who knows what's gonna. Oh yeah, roast Brussels sprouts are my favorite. I love them. Ragnar was flexing. Well, I don't know where Ragnar is. Oh, I see him. He's actually way back
Yeah.
because he's getting ready to take his ladies to bed for the night. So he's got them. He's rounding them up.
Well, here comes one of them back.
Here comes one dog. Come here, Minnie.
Oh, there's the other.
Yeah, I just got a book on. If I can take it, if I can get there to see it, you'll like it. Well, I don't know why we couldn't. It's not very far away. But I just ordered a Wild Edibles book.
Oh,
Oh, Chico, you're
Chico.
fine.
she just picked you up.
The Wild
All right,
Edibles
man.
book, just in case we really do go through what I think we might, and the food shortage and stuff, and if things get to where I'm kind of thinking they're going to, we might need to go in the woods and look for food, you know. Deer in your yard, yes. They want to eat everything, so I got to buy spray to spray my fruit trees. Because we put in some new fruit trees and they were after them, so I got to buy this spray that smells really, really terrible. It's made out of like garlic and rotten egg and hot peppers, and you spray it on the trees, and then they don't eat them. So, but we have lots of deer, and maybe that's what the dogs are barking at, but it's a little early for the deer to come around. Connect to nature in ways that are good for empaths. Yeah, and being connected to nature is pretty important for me. You want to get down, Chico? Minnie. Minnie. No, Minnie's mad at me all the time.
And
She never wants to sit in my lap. I never heard of this Oshkosh fly-in thing before. I feel like I say that half my live stream. I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that. Venison is good. Venison is good if you shoot a deer that is young enough, and if the person that cleaned it or, you know, prepared it for the freezer cuts it right, because if they leave too much of that tallow on, it just tastes wild and gamey, and I don't particularly like that taste. But the 2 deer that my son has shot,
it's gamey.
it's gamey, yeah. The 2 deer that my son has shot were very tasty. The first one he shot was like barely didn't have spots on it, so I asked him if he actually shot a small cow because it tasted just like beef. Yes, it was a Bambi, Sean. It was a Bambi. Very tasty one.
Yep. We ate the, what was it, the back straps that day, or was it the
Tenderloin.
tenderloin?
Yep. A lot of oh, and Sean is sad. Yeah, well, Sean, if you don't buy Ragnar, we're gonna eat him too, so
At some point, he'll be a soup chicken.
you might want to come get him. Because he's kind of outlived his life here. Because if I keep him another year, he's gonna be like breeding his grandchildren, and we can't have that.
The hunting.
Oh, Sean.
Me too, Sean. I don't hunt. My oldest boy does.
Deer hunting is really big around here. I've never done it.
Yeah, I'm kind of looked at like the oddball who doesn't like to do it.
But he has a name, it's Ragnar. Yeah, I know. But if I keep another, I can't just keep a rooster forever because I breed my own, you know, I hatch my own chickens and then, you know.
Start inbreeding.
Yeah, inbreeding and all this. Yeah. It's an unfortunate thing about having a farm is that eventually you have to do what's called culling. Which is a nice word for killing.
Oh, you're covered in dog hair.
Oh, I don't care. I'm gonna wash my clothes anyway. Look at Minnie, say hi. Oh, moonshine. I've never got into any of that dark light, but I was interested in it for a little while. I started studying. Can't keep a rooster forever. No, you cannot. If it swims, flies, or runs, I'll eat it. I saw a little tiny garter snake today. Would you eat that, Karen?
On a stick.
On a stick. Your your chickens, Sean, are stuffed. It's a stuffed chicken.
Well, maybe you could stuff Ragnar.
I could stuff
Take 'em
Ragnar
take
and
'em
then
to the-
just set him up next to me for my videos. Coup au vin is good. I've seen recipes for that, but I've never tried making it.
What the shit it's
Yeah, I think so. I think it will be. That, and if you're growing any weed, well, actually, at where you are, everybody's growing it. As far as I could tell when I visit my brother, it's in everybody's backyard, like
What'd
flowers.
you say at 5 o'clock the whole town smells like weed?
Yep. In the evening when the plants start releasing their stuff to talk to each other or whatever, yeah, the whole town smells like weed. Not burning weed, of course. Well, sometimes you smell that too. But that was when I first visited Oregon several years ago. That kind of like shocked me a little bit, that smell. No snakes. Oh, he won't eat snakes. Well, I guess they don't run or swim. They slither. You didn't mention slither, so never mind. You made your own hand sanitizer. I don't even
with
really
moonshine? Yeah, that'd
with
do it.
moonshine. Yeah, I would do it. It's 100 proof, maybe.
I'll say we
And
definitely.
he's growing. Yeah, I said if it's ever legal here in Wisconsin, and Wisconsin would probably be like the last state in the union to legalize marijuana because that's just the way it is. Yeah, I would have. I don't smoke marijuana, but it would. I would grow it, and it would be organic and beautiful, and it would have like plants to help it grow and help it get pollinated, and you know, it would have like I have my fruit tree guilds. I would have a pot guild for whatever benefits the marijuana I had planted around it. Anything on a stick is good. Deep fried is a bonus. Aloe plant and moonshine. Yeah,
Oh, that's how he makes his hand sanitizer.
nice. Can't function without it. They are my best friends. I'm kind of terrified to smoke it. I did in high school, I think one time, and all it made me do is just pass out, and I didn't like it. So,
I mean, I'll age myself, but all that stuff does is put me to sleep. I smoked it at an Ozfest concert and slept through 4 bands. So there's no point in it for me.
no bugs either. Oh, you won't eat bugs? Yeah, that's
No.
kind of gross. Yeah, well, Kieran, when there's no food, I think we'd all be surprised at what we would actually eat. Yeah, Liza, same thing. I just don't want to smoke it past high school. No. It just, yeah, it was probably the kind I had or whatever, and I know you can get different kinds, and it's much more regulated out there and stuff.
Well, I
But
was going to say it's probably a little more regular than a ditchweed your friends had.
yeah, probably. It does lots of good things. I did lots of research into it and looked into different things for it, and yeah, it's good stuff. Who knows now what's going on with it? Yeah. And now that they're growing it commercially, Liza, who really does know? Except for the people like my brother and Darklight that are growing it in their yard. They know what's going on with it.
It's a good point, though. And look how big tobacco made the tobacco plant so horrible for you.
Yeah, I struggled in school and college. I smoked on the honor roll. Needed it to focus.
Huh?
I hear that.
I'm not an insomniac. I don't need weed sleep. I miss a lot of stuff when I smoke it.
I'm an insomniac. Yeah. Well, I do have my Oregon CBD oil, and that helps me sleep. So I get that part of it. That I like better because I can control the amount I'm taking because it's like numbers of drops. I feel like if I would just smoke it, I would do too much and then be out cold.
Why are you eating dirt, Minnie?
Yeah, Minnie eats dirt. Why do dogs eat dirt? There's a topic. Yeah, Kieran, I'm afraid to eat mushrooms in the wild. My friends Ted and Ryan, they go out and they pick all these mushrooms and eat them, and then they, freeze them and they dry them in the dehydrator and then reconstitute them later for soup and stuff. I just feel like I would poison myself or end up on like a bad trip or something. Oh, dark light. And there's only been a few times that I actually felt high from it, and it was because I took it way before bed or I stayed up too late. I typically just take it right before I go to sleep, and I think I'm asleep before it kicks in, usually. And I don't really like that feeling too much. In the town that my brother lives in, Christopher, they had all of these like hemp farms, and then whoever was growing it didn't know how to process it and all went moldy, and then they felt it just seemed really sad. Well, this dog, I don't know what, she was always eating dirt. I don't know what, yeah, she's eating dirt.
Weirdo.
Silos, I don't know what is that, Christopher?
Catch a duck.
What?
I want to go catch a duck.
Good luck. Go try to catch one. You probably could. They don't move that fast. You want to catch a duckling to show them?
Partially.
Partially?
I don't want to get bit by mom though.
Yeah, she'll attack you if you grab one of her babies. She'll chase you over here and she'll attack us both.
I've got shorts on. She'll bite me in the legs.
Yeah. Mostly she just stomps her feet when I try to grab one. Yeah, some pregnant women crave lots of things like ice and stuff too. It might be a lack of minerals. Yeah, I'm going to have to look into that. I like the smell of dirt too, dark light. Especially in the springtime after everything's covered with feet of snow. And then you first smell the dirt when it thaws out. I love that smell. But yeah, she's also just a really weird dog, so who knows. Yeah, magic mushrooms, Christopher. Oh, that's what you were saying. Yeah. That terrifies me. I don't have any interest in those. Watching my mama duck move her babies. I wish I could show you guys, but I don't really have any way of going over there, and I can't flip the camera to show them to you. Oh, you can. Oh, let's see. Let's go look at them. See, the good thing I got my husband. He's the smart one. He can get it figured out. Let's see. Now, Darklight, I heard that too, that there's like things in the soil that would make people less sad. Christopher, she eats dirt like every day. I always thought she would be digging for something. Can you see the ducklings? Hey, Mama, don't get mad at me. So they're a little over a week old. Yeah, Mama's pretty pissed. I'm close. You gonna hide them? Don't hide them. There they are. They're pretty cute. We'll turn it back around. We'll walk back. See our chair over there?
That smells like a rotting vegetable over here.
No, that's the compost pile. Smells like rotting vegetables. Yeah. I gotta turn it. Go back to our chair. Oh, Immortal Flame, our moderator's here. And we'll turn you back around. Here. Was the picture clear for the ducklings? Did you see them? Oh, now of course she's bringing them back this way. She was sitting on 20 eggs and only 2 of them hatched for some reason, so I went to my friend's house and got her 7 more. Eli was looking for you. And people that work in the dirt are less depressed, and that probably explains why I'm so depressed in the wintertime. Also lack of vitamin D, because we have no sunshine in the winter. And when we do, it's so stinking cold outside, we wouldn't want to go out. Is it Cristiano? I'm going to murder your name. Cristiano. The mosquitoes are usually pretty bad here because we got a lot of like wetland and stuff behind us here, but it's breezy right now, so the mosquitoes are blowing away and not biting.
Thanks,
Okay,
Chris.
okay, Christopher J. We'll see you next time.
Oh, dark light leaving too.
No, he's saying
Oh,
the winter time, I think. Yeah, mama ducks are very protective. Like it was kind of funny because I brought her these other babies and I knew she would adopt them, but I thought I would have to sneak them under her at night. And that was my plan anyway. And then when I got out of my vehicle, I had this box with these little ducklings in it, and they're all peeping. And she heard the peeping, and she basically charged me and demanded that I give her her ducklings, because she thought that's where all her babies were. You know, she sat on 20 eggs and only hatched 2, and apparently I was hiding them in a box. So she took them right in. I let them out of the box, and they ran to her, and that was that. Easy as can be. Ducks are good like that. Chickens, you have to trick them into taking babies that aren't theirs. Yeah, Darklight, I know you guys say that you have winter, but I visited my brother in the end of November, and he told me that was winter, and that's not winter.
well, it
And-
depends where you live.
Yeah, I guess it depends on where you are in Oregon. But yeah, here, I mean, we have like overcast skies for like 6 months, it seems like. And then the days that are sunny, January and February, it might be like 20 below zero. So
Got a couple big birches over there.
people move here in the spring and about die. She will show you true winter. Yeah. It lasts forever. It never goes away. I always, we have a lot of like tourist people that come here, like they'll come here their whole working life for the summertime, you know, on weekends or week of vacation, whatever, and then they say they're going to retire here. And the first thing I always ask them is, have you ever been here in the winter? Because it's great in the summertime, and people think it's just so great. And then, yeah, have you been here in the winter? Because especially if you live out in the country and we get all that snow, it might be 2 in the afternoon before they plow you out. And sometimes it's so deep that there's no way you're getting your car out. You can't just drive through it. And you can snow blow your driveway, but if they haven't plowed your road, you're not going anywhere.
No, and then the plow comes through and pushes all that snow back in your driveway anyway.
Yeah, and it's all full of ice and stuff. Now, your winters are fairly mild there. Yeah, my brother, I randomly ask him what the weather is when it's yucky here. Hello, Todd. Nice to see you. He calls us Prairie Nation. I like it. I've got lots of names now, you know.
No, he's from Alaska. He knows winter.
Yep. Dad gets 80 sick days just because of snow. He does not. Sometimes he can't get out of the driveway and he stays home, but that's because no one's getting out of the driveway. I've had to close the salon a few days because we can't get out of our driveways, and the girl I work with lives out this way by me too, so if I can't get out, neither can she.
Well, she's got a truck.
Yeah, she does have a truck. But we're on the side, in the township we live in, we're on the side that isn't like as fancy as the other side,
We're the redheaded stepchildren of our
Yeah,
township.
so we get plowed out last because we're on the wrong side of the lake apparently. I don't know what it is.
We're on the pole side.
Yep. I think so.
There's a lot more houses on the lake on that side.
There is a lot more houses on the lake. There's fancy people over there. Oh, there's that sun again. I try to stay out of it. Well, does anyone have any questions for Chris? I had to remove trees and telephone poles from our road 2 years ago. It was like a real winter. Do you golf?
Yes, I do.
See,
Not well.
Callaway hat.
At least not this year.
He needs more practice.
Yeah. Them kids interrupted me.
Yeah. They do that. They're gonna grow up. When are we playing the back nine?
What course? I'd like to golf different golf courses, but
What's the best thing about being married to an INFJ wife?
oh, you had to throw it at the personality type even.
Well, that's what this is about.
Um,
I'm gonna try to.
I'd say have to put it down.
I'm just trying to get the sun out of it.
I guess it'd be right from the beginning. It'd be kind of that goofy weirdness, slightly crazy. Kind of like that about her from the get-go.
I'm trying to block the sun.
Very nurturing, but they get stuck in their own heads too much. And somehow I get blamed for part of the loop at some point.
You don't get blamed. You decide to take blame.
Get dragged into the loop.
What do you think of my last video? I don't think you watched it.
I haven't watched the last video. Which one was that?
This morning.
Oh, I'm watching it.
We were talking about what we talked about in the car yesterday. That's what I talked about.
What was that?
About how about your mortality and
Ah,
how I can do this without you, but I don't want to.
right.
What do you think about that?
I have to watch the video.
Does she cut your hair and beard?
Yes.
Yeah, we just trimmed his beard the other day. Oh, Mona, he's not going to answer your question because it's too emotional, probably. Is that why?
Huh?
Why
What?
don't you want to
Emotional?
answer?
No.
No, not emotional.
It'll get you in a loop,
Yeah.
and then you try to, and you just keep on
Yep.
until the loop ends, which is almost never.
It's almost never. Yeah, we get lost in thought. Yeah. Yeah.
More of a here and now kind of guy. So when you guys are talking about getting caught up in thoughts of the past or things from the past, I'm like, huh? No, not really.
That must suck, right?
It's like, oh, that happened in the past. See ya.
Yeah. That must be nice to be able to just move on. We get way ahead of our thoughts and forget and expect the person we are communicating with to be there with us. And I am prone to nag without realizing it.
No comment.
No comment?
She takes it as being helpful, helping me,
Hmm.
kind and thoughtful, and it's kind of naggy.
And I also can't always remember what I said out loud and what I just thought.
Right. So she might tell me this 3 times, and then it really seems naggy.
Yeah, because I can't always remember.
Like, woman, just let me watch a TV show.
Let me enjoy my life.
I'm good. I'm fine.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a loaded question. It gets all INFJs in the loop.
That's just mean. No.
I'm helpful, all right, the first time. Yep, you just said it. Yep. I say a lot of like, did I tell you this already? Did we talk about this already? But then sometimes I will say like, we talked about this and we didn't
Don't know what the hell you're talking about.
because I thought about it.
For hours
I thought about it
or
for
days.
hours or days or weeks. And then I didn't realize that I never actually talked to him about it, but I assumed I did. You know?
And then just assumes I know what she's talking about.
Yeah, he should totally understand because I have thought it out to completion. So he should get it. You know?
And I thought about completion. I went, am I really concerned about this topic? Nope. Okay. Thought. Do.
Done. Moving on. And I envy that, you know, that moving on. And it's interesting that our daughter has the same type as him. And she, well, being a teenager and a woman, well, she's 18 and a young woman, like she just has this way of just like stirring up drama and then just walking away and then she's done with it, you know, and then I'm going to sit and think about it and try to talk about it and have a solution for 16 hours. And then if I bring it up to her again, then she's like, well, I'm already done with that. So I kind of envy that a little bit, being able to just be done. I build stuff up and say it enough times to get the response I needed. But it's still not the right response, Darklight. I'm still not happy with what they said. It's
No,
just,
because sometimes I just say what she wants to hear just to stop.
just to get her to shut up.
And she reads right through that.
Yeah.
You'd think with her empathy or she'd pick up on the, good Lord, I don't want to talk about this way before I have to do that, but
Well, I know you don't want to talk about it, but I always feel like you need to talk about it.
where are you going?
I was trying to catch a dog.
Oh, that's funny. You guys didn't get to see her run off.
I was trying to catch my dog.
She's in good physical shape, but she's not very athletic.
No. Grenade throwers. Yep. That is kind of what she's like.
What
Yeah.
her daughter does, yeah.
That's what she does. And then if she upsets people, then she gets upset in return.
And tries to turn it around to where it's your fault that you're upset.
Yeah.
But I probably do that part too.
Yep. 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 But yep, she's a good kid. Actually, I was supposed to talk about raising teenagers today. That was my video plan for this morning, and then, you know, I was just too much thinking about tomorrow that I just couldn't talk about it, but I was going to answer someone's question about what I think is going to become of my children when they're older. And I thought I would, you know, roll that into what it's like to have teenagers in the house.
Next time, huh?
Yep, that'll be next time. Yeah. Eli, you know how to make a water grenade.
We do pick up on it. We just push it. That's what he said. And
Yeah.
I said, you think she'd pick up on the...
Yeah, we push it because we're trying to like make you grow. We're trying to like help you, and sometimes that means, you know, if we really care for somebody, we will push it because we want them to like get better. and see things,
The way you see them.
no, differently. Not just the way we see them. Yeah, probably the way we see
I
them.
was gonna say it doesn't.
Probably the way we see them.
I could say, oh, I see what you're saying. How's that?
Yeah.
What you want me to explain? Yeah, and I want it to sound exactly like what my definition of what you should be
Yes.
thinking.
Yes. This is how you should live your life. Because I know. Yeah.
So I just avoid those. I mean, it's been 21 years.
Yeah. It's like a surgeon. We must remove the tumors. And then add in our own thing. Maybe. I never thought of myself as a controlling person, but now that we're on this topic, I'm starting to kind of feel like one.
See, there you go, thinking on it too much.
I know. See? My brain started rolling like,
Oh, am I really that bad?
oh man.
Do I do that?
I'm mean.
Oh my God, I'm horrible.
I'm trying to be helpful, and in fact, I'm just controlling.
No, you have the best intentions.
She's heard my version of how you met. What's your version of your love story?
Well, let's see. The first time I was supposed to meet Joy, we met through her neighbor slash a guy I worked in a maintenance shop with. And he said, you need to meet my neighbor. She just broke up with her boyfriend. And he was going on and on about her. And she babysat for him and stuff like that. And I said, well, how old is she? And he goes, 17. I went, oh my God, Kevin, you trying to get me thrown in jail? What are you doing? Well, she's going to be 18 next year or whatever the heck it was. Because I want to say this was springtime. So he probably just turned 17.
Yep.
And I was like, whoa. Never mind. And then he came back like a week later, said, never mind, she went back with her boyfriend. I was like, oh, thank goodness. Then I don't have to come over and meet a girl that might get me put in prison.
Because he's 10 years older than me.
Yes. And then that next winter, must have been a year from then, he said, hey, my neighbor girl broke up with her boyfriend again. You should come over and watch a movie with us. So I was like, is she finally legal? And he said, yeah, she turned 18. So she was almost 19 at this point. So that would have been November, right?
Yeah.
It's the end of November. And I went over, watched the movies, didn't really talk a ton. She was kind of, you weren't quiet. You're kind of jabbery, which now I'd associate with being a nervous jabber, but.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, met her. She seems like a nice enough girl. Little flappy of the jaw, but I suppose gotta be able to talk to somebody eventually.
Mm-hmm.
And what, 3 days later,
That's it.
called you up again, and here we are.
Yep.
As exciting as that was.
It's not very exciting, Mona.
No,
It's not very romantic.
I bought her 3 packs of Camel menthols. That was my romantic gift to her, and she loved it.
Yeah. Must be hard to live with the shaman. We never leave the office. You know what a shaman is?
I know what a shaman is, yes.
Yeah. Is it hard to live with somebody like that?
You the shaman?
Yeah.
Not really.
No? You're used to me?
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, 21 years. You kind of get used to people. She gets used to me and my non-seriousness. Used to really, really irritate her.
Yeah.
But I think she's finally getting the hang of the fact that that's just the way I am. I don't
Yep.
take a lot of stuff seriously. Joke around about most stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Not super emotional.
No.
Weirdly emotional, I'll say.
Yeah, weirdly emotional. Would you rather have an honest partner who would most likely tell you all of your faults or what they don't like, or someone who knows very well to keep things bottled up, always compromising?
Ooh, good question.
I would like them to tell me my faults. I used to ask him to tell me my faults, and he never would.
Yeah, it's a bad idea.
It's a bad idea. So what would you like?
That's what I was taking the question. She was asking me what I'd like.
Okay.
You want me to tell you your faults, but when I do, you go into like this depression for weeks on end, and it's like, good Lord, what the hell did I do? You just asked me for the truth. I tried to be honest, and here I am, the doghouse for 3 weeks.
Hi, Johnny.
Um, I'd like to find. I'd like it to be a person who knows that edge where they can give you just enough honesty and make you maybe look at some things that you need to work on, but not so much honesty that you start feeling bad about yourself.
Right.
I don't necessarily need them to bottle it up though. I mean,
Right. And I think I've been both.
I was gonna say I don't. Oh, myself, I don't see why you'd bottle it up. I mean, it's somebody else who gives a crap. Yeah, I'm not gonna bottle up my emotion. Not what's the word I'm looking for? Not the emotions. If I see you're doing something foolish or silly or detrimental to your own psyche or whatever we want to go with here, I might tell you in a tactful way. And if you express interest in, like, oh, I didn't even realize that was happening, tell me what you mean, I will go on. If you're like, oh, and I'll be like, okay, you don't really want to hear this crap, so I move on. If you don't want to hear it, then I don't need to worry about it anymore. I tried. That whole past. Yep, I tried.
Yeah, and I feel like I've been both things. You know, I've been extremely critical of him in the past, and I've also,
Been extremely compromising and
yeah, done everything to, you know,
trying to find a happy space for herself that just wasn't there
yeah,
in that for that situation. I mean, she was trying to change me to make herself feel better, and she's coming around to we are who we are, kind of. I mean, we can change. I'm not saying people can't, but you usually can't change a person. They gotta want to change.
right.
And for the most part, I don't see a whole lot wrong with me as far as
I know. I know.
I'm good, I'm happy, I'm smiley.
We want the truth, but we can't handle the truth. That's right, Mona. It's about the delivery. Well said. Pick your battles, yeah. And there was times where I picked no battles. I
Yeah.
just
That,
carried
that
on.
didn't do her any good though either.
No,
She just
that
felt worse and worse about herself.
it was terrible because it was like I had no opinion. I had an opinion, but I wasn't going to share it with anybody. And it wasn't just in my relationship with him. It wasn't in my relationship with my mother, my friends, everybody, because it was like I can only be the one thing at the one time or something, you know?
Then she let it all build up, and eventually there'd be like this emotional breakdown, and she'd be bawling somewhere, and I'd
Yeah.
try to talk to her about it, and she'd scream at me and bite my head off because
Yeah, get the F out of here.
I
Yeah.
happened to be the body nearby, so I took the brunt of that one. I'm like, okay, now when she cries like that, I know just kind of either go over there and sit down and shut up, and if she lets you stay, then you can just comfort her by being there, or she tells you F off, hit the road.
Yeah.
She'll bawl it out on her own.
Yeah. I haven't done that for a while.
Nope, doing better.
Hopefully, I won't have to do that. Yeah, I call that a meltdown. And it's just all the stuff saved up.
And it used to happen, what, maybe once a year?
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't fun.
It's terrifying. I don't know if you guys go through those meltdowns, but for me, it was absolutely terrifying. When it would happen, it was like absolutely no control. And I always feel like I keep my emotions so well under control for the most part. But then when this would happen, it was like I felt like this is my spiral into madness. That's what I always felt like. And it was terrifying and I hated it and I couldn't figure out why it was happening. And then it would give me memories of my mother locking herself in her bedroom when I was a child, which she did very often. And I wondered now if that was what she was doing as well. But yeah, it was terrifying. But yeah, I haven't done that for a while. I did cry a little bit the other day, but it wasn't like that. It was just to cry, and there's nothing wrong with crying. Thank you, Johnny. Yeah, Mona, we a good balance, and we've kind of always had that. Even when things are really rough, we have always had kind of a good balance. He kind of keeps me on the earth, and keeps me from being too serious because he's never serious, and I don't know. It's was it the same time of year? No.
No.
There was like Cristiano, there was no prediction of when it would happen, and it was never about anything. What would trigger it was not even anything related to what I was crying about. I mean, it was just ridiculous. And then I would be crying about anything and everything all at once, you know? Well, Darklight, that's the last time that I cried, was watching an NF video of that Why Did You Leave Us? That's the last time I cried.
What's NF?
NF is he's like a rapper, a music artist. He does sing too. But yeah, I watched that video, and that's the last time that I cried. And I think because otherwise I just keep that all in. But I do notice lately, if I watch a show that is like emotional, and then if I like have some tears or something, I'm always like, I didn't know I had so many feelings. And I don't even know if they're mine, you know? It's like I'm feeling sad for whatever I'm watching and not necessarily for myself. I don't know, but...
Well, sometimes I put myself in the situations. It make me emotional that, you know, something's going on in a show or a TV or movie, and
you
like,
cry
"What if
when
that happened?"
you cry when your favorite sports team wins.
Sometimes.
That's when you cry. And it's good.
Sports movies are good for crying.
They are. I'm working on that, Johnny. Just let it all hang out. I don't really, well, some of it was, I think, in the home I grew up in, you know, showing your emotions was not really something that was necessarily safe or allowed. And so I learned how to not have them. What's your favorite team?
Oh, anything from, depends. College, it's all Badgers.
Not Packer fans, no.
No. Viking fan as far as football goes. Baseball, Brewers. Basketball, don't really watch it, but if I do, it's Bucks. So it's all Wisconsin except for football, I guess. And we don't have a professional hockey team, so I watch Badger hockey, and they stink right now. So
Do they?
yeah, not the girls. Women's hockey is doing great.
I don't watch sports at all.
Nope.
I may darken the doorway of our TV room for a few seconds to look at the screen while he's watching a football game, but I don't.
Probably usually to figure out what I'm screaming about down there.
I just don't care. Music for Mike. Darklight, tell me what that means. I'm not sure what that means. The Vikings, yes. Minnesota Vikings. Lived in Wisconsin all his life. What is fave? Music?
Oh.
I listen to all kinds of music.
Yeah, I guess it depends on what I'm listening to, but for the most part, I guess I'd say I listen to older punk, and that's only because I don't really know any newer punk. Not. And a little bit of the older heavy stuff, some newer stuff when I hear something I like on the radio, but I'm not real big on band names and songs. Just I learn lyrics. I like to sing it. As you can tell from my beautifully soprano voice going on here, I like to hit the high notes.
It was the same until about 6 months ago when my brother died. It changed to bring up a sore subject, but before that it was different. Now, Johnny, when my dad died, which is almost 3 years ago, I think that like something fell apart in me when that happened. Like I feel like I had I always was like I had everything all together, even though I dealt with depression and I did all these things, and I still was who I was. I was really good at putting on like a show, I guess, and I could just keep it all together, and I could keep myself from falling apart. And then when my dad died, and for the first probably 6 months or so, I just didn't do anything with it. You know, I cried the day that I found out he died, and then that was the last time I cried about it or even felt anything about it until probably 6 months later, and then I had one of many meltdowns, and I just couldn't even function. I was like paralyzed or something, and it broke something in me. And then it probably was broken all along, but I was just putting up this, this show where I could just keep it going. And then when that happened, I was like, I just can't do it anymore. I need to figure out what's the matter with me. So I end up in therapy, and then we're here. Because my therapist says, you should start a YouTube channel. You have a lot to tell people about what you've gone through and who you are, and there will be other people like you, and that kind of thing. And well, here we are. So yeah. So Johnny, I totally understand how the death of somebody that you love can change you in a way. And I don't even know that it really changed me. It just kind of made me not able to uphold the mask. Yeah. I just couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't be everything for everybody anymore.
Nope, I had to go get stuff sorted out.
Yeah. So yeah, it's almost 3 years. I'm a lot better.
Next count was punk.
Punk? Yeah.
Yes.
Yep, punk. Yeah, and I listened to punk in high school. The noise of it now really bothers me. I don't know why. Any of the loud, it just sounds harsh to me now. But if I hear some of the old stuff, it kind of like brings me back a little bit. So I don't mind that. But hard shell on the outside, soft chocolate on the inside. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah,
What
Somerset.
Ozfest did you go to?
Somerset, that's correct.
He slept through it.
I missed 4 bands.
Oh, 4
Oh
bands.
no, the one I missed bands in was the Metrodome.
Oh.
When I went to it in Minneapolis. I have gone to one at Somerset, and it was awesome because they had the Vons Warped Tour on the other side of the hill. So I went over there and listened to some punk bands. Hop back over, listen to some heavy metal, back over, listen to some punk. It was all for 1 ticket. I paid to get into Ozfest, and I didn't even know that the Vons Warped Tour was going to be there until one of my friends who listened to punk was there, and he was like, "What are you guys doing?" We're like, "Here to see Ozfest." He's like, "Oh, I'm here to see." Who was he here to see?
Oh, he was there too.
Oh, it was awesome. I loved it.
We went to the Vons Warped Tour. I don't know how many years ago that was,
Been
but
a while now.
we were so old.
Yeah, we were old.
I'm like, we don't belong here.
Not as old as that guy with the long gray beard though that was out in the mosh pit.
Oh yeah, there was a real old guy, but I was like, we can't come here anymore. These are all babies. No one here is even legal to drink or smoke cigarettes. What are we doing here?
It was fun. I went out in the pit for a bit.
Yeah, it was. People watching,
That was what NoFX and Vandals were there.
Yeah.
Dropkick Murphy.
Yeah, it was fun. But yeah, we felt it aged me. It aged me.
It was a while ago though. I think it was before we had kids.
No, we had.
Did we have rain?
Rain and Garen.
Oh, okay.
Partial to bluegrass. I like the sound of bluegrass too, Darklight. I like a lot of different music. I kind of like mix everything up on my Pandora list, and it's just.
I like older country, some '90s country.
Yep, I do too. I like old 40s and 50s music. Some of those people that could really sing back in the day. Now sometimes it's few and far between the people that can actually sing and make music. So lots of different stuff, but newer stuff too.
A little bit of '70s. What do they call? Classic rock with Zeppelin and CCR and stuff like that.
Yep, I like that
Doors.
stuff too. Yep, that classic rock reminds me of my dad, and then the really old country reminds me of my grandma. So you'll never get out of therapy what you're getting here, I promise you. There's some truth in that, Johnny.
These mosh pit destroyed me.
Oh, I can imagine Darklight. That just sounds like.
Yeah, those are rough ones. The metal ones are way rougher than the punk ones.
Oh, Johnny, you can. Well, wait, no, my son will probably filter out if you swore. You said you don't give a what anymore. I watch your videos. I hear your language. It doesn't bother me. This one talks like that too. It's liberating, but it's lonely. Yeah, I get that. The loneliness. I spent a lot of years feeling super lonely, but not as much anymore. I feel like, I don't know. I The years that I was trying to be, like I talked about before, like an acceptable Midwest woman, and I had people around me all the time and friends over, and I was going places, I was more lonely then than I am now. And that doesn't make any sense. But that's just how it worked. Rob Zombie's mosh pit. Oh my gosh. I can't believe you guys would even go in that. You like to be hurt or something.
Just get a little bit of your frustrations out.
I don't think I have that many frustrations. If I get real frustrated, I'll go scrub the cabinets, but I suppose that's not about the same thing.
No, metal mosh pits are more about
Hurting somebody.
kinda, yeah. And punk ones are more like bouncing around and bouncing off of each other.
Yeah, that looked kind of fun, but I
Kind of
wouldn't.
pogue one, I think they call it.
Girls get like felt up in there, so that's not
Yeah.
really for me.
That's true. Actually, I think part of the NoFX Con I've spent shielding some girls about 4'10" that was getting basically bounced all over the place inside there.
That's crazy. Well, guys, we're past hour and a half. I think we'll call it a night here. The bugs are starting to come out because the breeze died down. So,
And the sun's going down.
yep.
But it was fun. I'll see you guys in a year.
You'll see him in a year. Yeah, he's not going to be back for a long time again. But I'll get him to do another video with me here, a chatty, where we just talk. You don't get frustrated. You didn't get frustrated. You got a YouTube channel. Yes, I did get a YouTube channel, and I'm still like, what in the world am I doing? Why am I doing this? You know? Chicks were throwing bows. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you hanging out with us. We'll see you next time.